There we go. So it is Thursday night. It is team training call night. It's Thursday, the 14th of June. My God, 2 weeks into the 6th month of the year, and the World Cup has started. The World Cup has started. 5 goals in the first game. Great start to the tournament. Another 63 games to go. But, you know, serious face on. Again, you know, Thursday nights, as I said, is our team training call night, and every week we bring the best of the best. You know, whether it's someone from within our team, whether it's someone from the corporate field, whether it's a leader from America, whether it's a leader in another country, whether it's a trainer that we've got next week from Australia, a guy called James Yates, a network marketing trainer who I think is fantastic. But tonight we've got one of our own, and as much as, and I said this before and I say this many times, as much as I love hearing from, you know, the likes of Nina and Austin and PJ in the corporate field, and, you know, I love hearing from what we're doing here. I love hearing from what we're doing in the UK, what we're doing within the team. And tonight you're going to hear from a lady that is, along with her husband, is probably the most consistent couple that we've got in the team at the moment with regards to running socials. Like every month since we started, there's been a social, at least one. So I'm excited to listen to what Carla's going to share. Carla's my personal as well, so she's probably got more pressure on her shoulders than most people. But funny story, but this is the story. Myself and Carla connected on social media, and the first time that we actually met was at the Waldorf Hotel in London. Never met her in person, never spoke to her on the phone. It was literally Facebook Messenger. You know, I can't even remember the first conversation, but we connected. I sent Carla the information. Next thing I knew, I got an email through saying she joined, met her at the Waldorf Hotel, and that was it. So for those of you that are thinking that social media doesn't work, it does, and this is proof of the pudding. So with that being said, I'm going to unmute the line. Carla, can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Paul, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share with everyone what I think has helped us in our direct sellers business. And I'm going to share with you what we do on a regular basis to keep us focused, and some things about our habits and our routines that we find really do work well. So here's a little bit about our background. I work the business with my husband, Greg. We've been married 12 years. We met 22 years ago whilst we were working in the pub restaurant game. Greg is an engineering manager for a private hospital, and my background is in the fitness industry. And we have 3 sons together. They're aged 20, 8 and 4. And I came across network marketing about 19 years ago, and I remember absolutely loving the concept of it, everything about it. It didn't matter what qualifications you had, what education you had, what experience you had. You could run a business with a low startup cost, with very little risk. You could work part-time, spare time. You had no boss, no targets other than the ones you set yourself. I loved coming across people's success stories and all the different backgrounds that there was. And, you know, there was this opportunity to show people how they could change their lives. In them days, what did baffle me was, because I loved it so much, I thought it was just the best thing. What baffled me was, why wasn't everyone doing this? Why weren't there more people involved? And I remember the first company that I was with, someone said to me, and I did learn this after a while, it was like, you know, not everyone is going to join us on this journey, but everyone plays a very important part. And when we are celebrating our success, we still need people to pour our champagne. So we can't have everyone coming along with the, in our business. So the first company that I joined, we sold all sorts of household items, from cleaning products to gardening stuff, to I don't know. They started doing health and beauty, to back scratchers. It had everything in there. And I remember in those days I used to deliver catalogues, take orders, and I used to go around doing deliveries. And I would get my son in his buggy. He was only one at the time. I used to get him in his buggy. I used to load up this basket full of catalogues. I mean, that buggy had a bad time with me. I used to ram it, absolutely cram it, and used to go up and down the streets delivering these catalogues. And you know what? I thought, my God, I really love this. It's the fact that I can earn money whilst looking after my son, and I don't actually need babysitters or childcare, and I could run the whole business around the family. And I did this for about 7 years, and then I decided I wanted a career in the fitness industry, and I became a personal trainer, and I had a great career with it. I really enjoyed it. But during this time, I realised how valuable network marketing was, because I compared the two. So when I was a personal trainer, I was self-employed, and if I took time off, I didn't get paid. And with network marketing, if you take a little bit of time off, you still get paid through residual income. And after a while, I was kind of missing the industry, so I partnered with another company. And since then, we've had 2 more children, and thanks to the industry, I was able to stay at home and bring them up without needing extra childcare or babysitters. Now, I was never a 6-figure earner in any of the previous companies, but I was privileged, I think, in the fact that I never missed the important times in my children's lives. And I'll give you an example. Sports days. I was able to do that. I've attended all sports days for Reese. He's now 20, and I still do it now. But I hear a lot of working parents, that just that alone, they wish they can do. And, their boss has denied them time off to go and do that. So for me, it's not all about, earning tons and tons of money. This industry can give, if a family needs like £100, £200, £500 extra a month, it's there to be had. So fast forward a couple of years, and I was scrolling through Facebook one day, and direct sellers page appeared, and I was like, oh my God, that is network marketing, and that product is wine. And I thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. I really did. I thought it was amazing, not just because the product was wine, but because I thought, my God, that's going to be so easy to talk about. There's no, next to no resistance, and the product is what people want and not what people need. And it's been, ever since. I mean, I joined, I think it was the end of June last year, beginning of July, and it's been absolutely amazing. It's a very relaxed and simple approach to network marketing. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to share with you, I've condensed it into like 6 little pieces. The first bit is what I want to talk about is motivation and inspiration. Motivational quotes, for me, I absolutely love them. Can't get enough of them. I think there's a lot of empowering messages out there, and they've played a massive part in keeping me inspired. Some people get a lot out of them. and others not so much, but I think they can be a very great tool, especially when you're having like a very doubtful day. You know, there's times of doubt. Listening to other people's success stories as well can be very inspiring. You know, there's all different stories out there, all different backgrounds, and I found that there's been one thing in common with all of them, is that they didn't give up, and it just reminds us that we can do this. Personal development, like books and the audios, and listening to mentors, the likes of Eric Wee. I'm just going to list a few here. Eric Thomas, Gary, Les Brown, Ed Myler. I quite like because he gives like the 60-second bursts of business and mindset videos mornings. I quite like that. Which I find in the mornings is more effective, because it, you know, it can set you up for the day, and it doesn't kind of encroach on the time that you allocate for income producing activities. So doing it first thing in the day can just set you up. Also remembering your why as well, the reasons why you started. You know, if you're having an off day, take yourself back to why you started. Having a vision board. We have one, we're in the middle of a new one at the moment. But I think that can be a very motivational, because it's visual. You know, you can place it somewhere that you see it every day, and you can see those things that you want to achieve in life. Yeah, so whenever you need to, you know, I'm probably going to place mine where I work, so it's, you know, it's always there, so you can just visualize it. But you know, I've learned that you can read all the quotes in the world and gain all the knowledge that there is out there, but without putting anything into action, because action is the key, nothing happens. And I've got a little quote here from Darren Hardy, and he says, "Knowledge will enrich you, but only action will turn it into riches." And it's true. You know, I kind of see it, you might laugh at this, but I kind of see it like baking a cake. You're putting all these great ingredients in the bowl, mixing it all up, put it in the dish, but then you don't actually put it in the oven and bake it, so you have no cake. Bit silly, I know, but that's how you know, you gather all this knowledge, motivation, inspiration, but there's nothing. It's like it's all there, but it hasn't actually got to anything. Number 2 is consistent activity. So be consistent no matter the outcome. Focus on activity, not the results. I kind of look at this as a long-term thing. So I don't do anything going, right, okay, I'm going to get such and such. Like for example, when we're doing wine socials, I don't kind of think, right, you know, there's like 10 people, 15 people turn up, I'm probably going to sign up such and such. We just do it, and we're looking at it long term. So I'm going to look at it probably in a few months' time and go, okay, what's happened? You know, do we need to do anything different? So just focus on what you're doing. Always focus on that, and just, it's as if like you just got to ignore the results. Just don't think about that, but be consistent. The results will turn up anyway. So just continue with your income producing activities. Set yourself. Paralyze resistance with consistency. So the more you continue with your efforts, you will gain strength and growth, and therefore you will increase momentum. Keeping momentum going, no matter how big or small your activity. Yes, massive action is the best, it is, but it doesn't matter. Just make sure that you give 100%. You know, progress is progress. You know, and forward is forward. So just don't, you know, don't stop momentum. This will be, I've done this in the past, I'm going to be honest. It becomes a vicious circle when you start all the time. You know, it really is frustrating, and you're going to end up, you know, to the point where you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. You're stuck in that rut. You know, you're going around that vicious circle, and your speed doesn't matter. You know, forward is forward. You know, we're all running our own race, and everyone is different. Don't compare yourself with somebody else's journey. Just keep the momentum going. And it doesn't matter if you mess up or you make a mistake. Just do it. Just don't give up. You know, don't miss the lesson by focusing on the mistakes. Number 3 is become confident. And I think this one's really important, because if you're not confident, then you won't become confident. So you need to get confident at what you're doing to become confident. And confidence diminishes when you don't know what you're doing. So you've got to practice enough, and you will succeed. Practice what you do, regardless of whether you've got you know, whether you've got a presentation to do, or you've got someone wants to see the business. Just practice, just pretend you are actually going to work. You know, make this a habit. Do something every day as if you're going to work. The more you do, the more it will become natural. Not being prepared, preparing you to fail. So get good at it, and then you'll learn a lot. You know, winging it. I know some people, but it isn't everyone. Winging it is not going to work, because what they'll do is produce untrained waffle, and untrained waffle normally leads to nil outcome. If someone wants you to show them the business, just make sure you're prepared, ready, and armed to give the information. And it needs to be kept simple. You know, don't say too much. You know, and if you can't explain it simply enough, then you don't understand it well enough. It's got to be simple as well, so that you can duplicate it to your team. You know, our system in direct sellers, it works. You know, that successful people are using it, and you've got to listen to what successful people are doing. Be open to coaching, as it's the key to learning the skills. Okay, number 4, and this is change and dealing with fear. You cannot change what you don't confront, and change is needed when you want to be successful. You know, you need to get rid of the old habits that you have. You need to get out of your comfort zone, because where the magic happens. And I don't know if anyone knows the comedian and TV host Steve Harvey. He explains this very well. He says that there is no way around getting out of your comfort zone other than to just jump. You have to just go for it and jump. There is no way around it. And I've done it. I've spent the last 19 years thinking there's an easier way, and there isn't. You just have to jump. And any successful person will tell you at some point they had to just jump. But then, like it or not, they jumped. It doesn't mean that during that process that everything was perfect and it all went plan. But you have to start, and you have to make that jump. You know, you don't have to be perfect and 100% ready, but you just to go for it. And change can be scary, but that's okay, because I see those feelings. I think those feelings are that you're about to do something really, really brave, and that it's there to let you know that it's worth it. You know, you must be willing to get out of your, must be willing to get comfortable. And sometimes you've got to dig really, really deep. You know, a place where you thought you could go, you really got to dig deep and be uncomfortable. And I don't think there really is a good time to ever confront your fears. I don't think anyone's ever 100% ready. And I don't think those fears are ever going to go away. I think sometimes you've got to face them, just be afraid. And times it'll be so bad that you just have to do this scared. But how I see it as well is that, well, what I do is I turn it around and think, what's going to happen if you don't confront those fears, don't confront what's bothering you. There will be a price to pay. There will definitely be a price to pay. And those feelings will be totally overwhelming in a bad way. You know, you're going to have low self-esteem, you're going to feel powerless and frustrated. You're going to lead a very uneventful life. You know, you sabotage your own success, and it's just worth it. You know, and that really should worry you more than confronting your own fears. And you know what? It will still be waiting for you for next time if you don't. So you could, like tonight, I could have said to Paul, I just don't feel ready to do this training. I don't think I can do it. You know, number one, when am I going to be ready? Is it next week, next month, next year? Number two, I'm going to feel all those feelings, of low self-esteem. I'm not going to be proud of myself at all. Don't doubt your own abilities. It's a shame when somebody who really has what it takes and they really want success so bad, but they don't think they can do it. They're so engulfed in that fear. It consumes them through lack of confidence. And I think what can help is having a mentor that can I think mentors can be a great source of support. They can push you and point you in the right direction and help you focus on what needs attention. So number 5 is dream stealers. And I've had a long time of these people that they just, where do I start? No matter what you do, you're always going to have critics. And you have to rid yourself of these destroyers in your life. You know the ones, they're the negative Nellies, they're hairy fairies, the narrow minds with the big mouths. But the thing is, you don't have to put up them. I used to react so bad to their negativity years ago, and I'd get defensive. But arguing with them, I never won them over. So as the saying says, there's no point wrestling with a pig. Both get dirty and the pig likes it. So don't be influenced by them. You're going to have a difficult time having a positive mindset when you're surrounded by negative minds. So you have to hang around with like-minded people. People that are on the same mission as you, your tribe. It can be a profession, and you don't have to take advice of people that aren't living the life you want. others say about you doesn't make it the truth, because people have their opinions. It does make it a fact. So you really need to never rob yourself of who you are and what you stand for. And number 6 is the section on love what you do and tell everyone what you're doing. The chances of being successful, if you don't love what you do, I think, are very slim, and you're wasting your time. I think you've got to love what you do, and you'll be more, you'll come across more excited, more motivated, more passionate. And I think that is very vital if you want to be successful. At the end of the day, nothing is worth it if you're not happy. And I personally think that we have a very, very exciting product. I think we have a very, very exciting business. I think direct sales, and I'm not saying this just because I'm in direct sales now, but I think it's a really, really exciting business. It is going places. It really is. So, as I said, we do have this amazing direct sales business, and we have this opportunity that can change people's lives, and we need to tell everyone what we have. There are people out there that are looking for us, and we need to go and find them. Now, however you do this, whether it's warm list, social media, and social media has been, very successful for some people. You'll know from our list, however it is, you just need to work it and have as many rods in the ponds just to maximise exposure. There will be people that say yes, and there's going to be people that say no. That's just part of the package. But if you don't ask, the answer is always going to be no. That no doesn't mean forever. Some people will surprise you. I've got somebody who's a customer of ours, and he hates wine. He turns up every wine social we do. He turns up. He hates wine, but he's a customer. So have your no for now list, and don't prejudge. Don't prejudge people. It can be a killer in this business. Who are we to decide whether anyone would want to do this or not? And the danger is, if you don't talk to them, somebody else will. Until they say no, then you don't know. It doesn't matter if they like wine or not. Like I just said, I've got a customer that doesn't like wine. He's a customer. Wine doesn't care if you like it or not. Wine has plenty of followers. But there is a business opportunity out there that they will like. And this is a globally desired product. So I'm going to finish off with a few of my favourite quotes. And at the end, please share any quotes that you want to share with us. I've got loads. I've got absolutely loads. I'm just going to pick a few. A lot of people are afraid to say what they want. That's why they don't get what they want, and that's by the singer Madonna. If you don't chase your dreams, you will never catch them. Life will only change when you become more committed to your dreams than you do. Sorry, I'll start that again. Life will only change when you become more committed to your dreams than you are to your comfort zone. And there's one here by Ben Stein. He says, nothing happens by itself. It all will come your way once you understand that you have to make it come your way by your own exertions. So that's it for me. Please share because I'm a lover of quotes, so please share your quotes if you want to, if you've got a favourite quote, and I'll hand it back to you, Paul. Thank you.
Good job. I know how difficult that was, but I know how much that you wanted to do it as well, because your own like personal development has taken a massive journey, and you guys, and I've said this to Greg, when we done our first social, when I done my first social with Greg and Carla, Greg had a piece of paper like what he wanted to say, and he had it all written down, and there was literally like a side and a bit of how he wanted to introduce himself and the story, but it's just stage fright. And I remember him doing his opening kind of speech, and I think he was standing in front of the people for about 5 seconds. Right, I hand you over to Paul, and that was it. But every social that we've been to now, like, these guys have grown in posture and in stature and in confidence, and we just have fun. Like, these socials now, like, we do have so much fun. And the guy that Carla's talking about, the guy, he doesn't not like wine, he hates wine, but he turns up to every single social, and like, I'm determined to make sure by the end of this year he likes a wine, because I remember the first one we done, and 2 reds, 2 whites, and he thought that they all tasted the same. Nah, disgusting. Nah, what does it smell like? Nah, nothing. What does it taste? Nah, disgusting. And he was telling everyone else that, nah, that this is disgusting. But he's become a customer. So fair play to him on becoming a customer, and fair play to him for turning up. Right, I'm going to open the lines out in a minute, so get your questions in hand. But there's a couple of bits that I've taken down that I'm going to relate back to. Right back to the beginning, when you said about working in like the pubs and that. Carla actually worked in Crawley. Carla actually worked in a pub that was probably about 10 minutes that way, I think it is. So Carla knows the area. Another thing that I want to pick up on, like, how many people do direct sellers that either are or were in the fitness industry? See, I've always said that fitness and wine go so well together. And I know on the call there's myself, there's Carla, there's Shirley, there's Zoe, there's Becky, there's Raz. There's so many of us that I've said it before, fitness and wine go hand in hand. There is a workout with wine, www, there you go. Another thing I picked up on, I talk about this a lot, and it's the fact that people quit on themselves so early, and people give up way too soon. And, you've said you've been in the industry for 19 years now. How many people stay with direct sellers for a year? How many people stick with a company nowadays for a year? There's so much competition out there, and I get that, but people get their heads turned by people kind of selling them bullshit, basically, what it boils down to. And I spoke to Anne today, and I said to her, and I've spoken to Raz about this recently as well, I get pitched on a daily basis, like sometimes multiple daily basis, about going to another company, and this is what you can earn, and I'll see if I can get you this deal. And and I've got no doubt in my mind that certain companies, I probably could make more money like quicker, and I probably could make more money long term, but I don't want to be in a position, in a company with people that I don't know and don't like, in a company that I don't know what the leadership's like, I don't know what the founders are like, I don't know what the corporate team's like. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that there's so many people in this company that are long-term servants of this company, and then for a fact that their main drive is not money, where it should be to a degree, because we've all got to live, and we talk about how important money is, and it may not be the most important factor, but it's up there with oxygen in the fact that we need it to survive. But what I've seen with this company and with the corporate team and with the founders is that it is like a family. And I hate saying that, because you hear it so often in network marketing. It's very American and it's very cliche, but this is like a family. Like, I've told certain people certain things on this call and in the corporate team and the founders, probably more than I've told a lot of my friends. And I've been told information by some of you guys, more information than what you've told your friends. And I think it's such an emotional profession to be part of, because you've got such a strong reason for doing it. And it's not a case of getting up in the morning and getting dressed and brushing your teeth and going to work and coming home and having your dinner and sitting down and watching TV and going to bed and getting up in the morning and getting dressed and it's not that Groundhog Day. Like, we're doing this outside of what we're currently doing. We're doing this on top of what we're currently doing, but we're doing it to make that change and make that difference. So, bravo to you two for being in the industry for 19 years and not quitting on yourselves. Another big thing that I took, earning money whilst you're looking after your son, and you've done that for 7 years. So we've got a product now that we don't need to bulk buy. We don't need to go and load up a load of bottles in the car and drive around the town and right, how many bottles did you want? 2, right, that's 40 quid. How many bottles? 6. How many? 3. We don't need to do that. We don't need to stop by. It's a case of, right, there's my website, sign up, the wine will be with you in 48 hours. Let me know when I can come around and do a wine social. Let's open the box, let's help you get your wine for free. Right, here's your computer, sign yourself up. But again, the fact that you've done that for 7 years, and I've seen people walking the streets doing Avon in the pissing down rain and the snow, because they've got to do it. They've got to do it because they need to see the difference and they need to see the change in their lives. A couple more bits before I open it up. Personal development, again, you said it, motivational quote. I'm massive into motivational quotes. There's not a day that goes by where I probably don't post at least one, and I look at multiple quotes, because like you and like most people, we do get like crappy days and we do get shitty days, and like this week for me has been one of the toughest that I can remember in a long time. But I've always got to remember what journey I'm on, and I've always got to remember like where I want to go and where I need to go to support my family and to make the change that we're currently in. So personal development is such an important factor. And then your why, and I spoke again, speaking to Anne today about it. A lot of people, they disconnect with their why, and maybe they've not found it, or maybe they've not connected with it, or maybe they've not written it down, or maybe they've, I don't think many people have actually delved deep enough to find that emotional attachment to their why, because some people that have come in and left, and some people that have come in and just done nothing, and some people that have, gone somewhere else and they get 2 rejections, they get 5 rejections, they get 10, well, this is not going to work, this is too hard, I'm going to go somewhere else. But if your why is locked in, like literally, why do you want to do this? To make more money? Well, why? So I can get out of the current situation that I'm in. Well, why are you in that current situation? Because of a past relationship. Well, what happened? And you just keep digging and keep digging and keep digging and keep digging until it gets you in here where you're kind of like lost for like breath, really, and you don't know what to do. And it's that you've got to grab onto, you've got to bottle it up, you've got to write it down. You think, right, shit, I've got to get up tomorrow and I've got to go to work. And I've got a business on my hands here that I'm so passionate about, that I'm so confident about, that I know that is going to make changes in people's lives. And I'm going to go and talk to everyone. And what I'm going to do personally now, after the what's happened in my life over the last 3 or 4 days, I'm coming away from doing a lot of my work on social media. I'm going out there to speak to people, because there's so many people out there that are suffering from depression and anxiety and mental illness and whatever, and need help and want to change. And it's not so much about like a wine club. It's not so much about a wine business. This is a chance to give someone a friend that they can lean on, to give someone like an ear to talk to, a shoulder to cry on, a business opportunity that will get them out of their mess and to make them feel like somebody. So, that's what I'm going to do now. And, the next couple of Saturdays, we've got a couple of big birthday parties and we're supplying the wine. Like we've said that we're going to supply the wine, we're going to take the wine, we're going to and we're just going to go there and we're going to go have fun, but we're going to talk to people about it, and we're going to say to people, look, if you want to make a chat, get in, get in as a customer, get in as a business partner. This is what it's going to cost you, and just cut it out. Because when it comes to social media, there's so many people out there that think they're experts, but they're all selling the same stuff, and we all get warped into it all. Like I've been there, right, click here and you pay this much. Great, right, if you pay this much, you can get this extra bit, and if you click this, you can get and we pay all this money, but when do we do anything with it? When do we actually listen to it? When do we get time to action it? But then more importantly, how is that going to be duplicatable to the team? Like if we can host in-house wine socials with 2 people, and we sign that one person up and we duplicate that, how much easier is that going to be for us? How much more fun is that going to be for us? So, I've reevaluated my own why over the last 72, whatever, the 72 plus 24, 96 hours. I've reevaluated what I need to do. And, I've been speaking to Anne and Kevin today, and, I've had some time out and I've had some time to myself, but this is important to me. This has got the opportunity to change lives. Like, forget the product. Like, forget that it's wine. Forget the whole, how have you gone from fitness to alcohol? That's irrelevant. This is an opportunity to get people out doing something. This is an opportunity to improve someone's posture, to improve someone's confidence, to improve someone's bank balance, to make someone feel better about themselves. So I've gone off on a tangent, but that I needed to say that tonight. So with that being said, I can see everyone's faces. Who's got a question? Anthony, I know you have got a question because you always ask questions. So Anthony, fire away.
Paul, absolutely. Carla, I just want to say, mate, that was amazing tonight. It really was. It was like, I can relate to so much of that. But my first question is, what a 20-year-old then an 8-year-old? How the hell did that happen?
Well, I don't know, actually, because it's really funny story on it as well. I came to the conclusion that I wasn't going to have another child. I mean, there's a 12-year gap between the 20 and obviously the 8. And I became pregnant 2 weeks after starting a new job at a hospital. Somebody up there said, no, you're not doing that. You're not doing that. And I was like, oh my God, it's taken me 12 years. No, I don't know what is this 12-year gap. I don't know. And then before another one popped up. I don't know.
I'm very similar to that, absolutely. But no, I mean, tonight's presentation was great, and I can, like I said, I can relate so much to what you put out there. Certainly, a few things what stood out for me with the fact that, and like you say, when you was talking, when you can go to sports days and you can see your kids without taking time off work. And when I go to events like that, especially these last 4 or 5 years, I'm like the only dad there. And you look around and think, wow. And it does mean more than the money does that as well, when they say the time side of it. And yeah, I really take that on board. And the other thing what I picked up on as well is, yeah, you get days where you're not feeling it or you're a bit pissed off. And then as soon as you listen to a bit of personal development audio, everything seems to come back again and think, your reason why is back there again. And that's all it takes is half an hour of personal development, and then boom, you're back in the game again. And like you said there, just do something daily, consistently, like that. When you have your good days and your bad days, it does make a big difference. And I think tonight's whole presentation was all about taking action. And if you take action through consistency, and you're going to again forget the results, but you will get the results because you're taking the action. And I really like that. So bravo tonight. You was like a female version of me, which is scary because everything you said was like, wow, that's what I do. Wow, that's what I do. So that's great to know. It really is, because you've been, like I say, a long servant to the industry. So I really appreciate that tonight. But my question to you tonight then, Carla, I know there's maybe quite a few things what attracted you to direct sellers, but what was the main 2 things what really grabbed you? I mean, my personal ones was the leadership and the simplicity of talking about the product, and I know you touched on that, but what was your 2 really main things what attracted you to direct sellers? I'd be interested to know.
Yeah, as you mentioned, you know, it was the wine, it was the easiness. You know, I kept thinking, oh my God, this is going to be so easy to talk about. But secondly, the compensation plan was really simple. It was so. I've been the other two businesses I've been in, it's been a bit, you know, it was complicated for me. It wasn't as simple to tell people. It really is a simple compensation plan. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that was all I needed. I just kept thinking, you know, this is a product that people want. It's not what they need. Like my last company was in utilities. You talk to people about utilities, you know, it's essential, but it isn't sexy, is it? It's just something we need. And wine is something I love it. We all, you know, lots of people love it.
So you need to have that passion behind the product. Then that's what you're saying. Where the fact you didn't really have the passion, even though that yeah. Yeah, great answer. Like,
yeah, otherwise you can't get, when you're talking about it. Like, I did well in the utilities business, but there was no passion about it. I really couldn't. My husband's better at it than me, but I literally could not get that excited about utilities. I just couldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I know where you're coming from there. No, great answer. Yeah, and like you're saying, the compensation plan where you can make quick start money and you only need to build 2 teams. It did, yeah. It was one of the main reasons why I'd look at it as well. But no, fair play. So the compensation plan and the simplicity of talking about and with a passion behind it.
Yeah.
Noted. Right, thanks so much, Carla. I'd just like to say again, really related to tonight, a lot of that stood out to where I'm going with this as well, and really appreciate that as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks.
And you have grown so much these last 6 months, what I've seen as well. So hats off to you two guys. Brilliant.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Has anyone else got a question? Does anyone else want to ask Carla a question? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Anyone got any good quotes?
You've blown them away tonight. You've absolutely blown them away tonight. That was good. 50 minutes, 51 minutes on the clock. So we'll call it a night. But you know, like I said at the beginning, like, you guys have grown so much since you've been in, and you've been in coming up a year now. And for you guys, it's probably like just the beginning of what you're doing. You know, to speak in front of a team and to speak in front of a country that, you know, we've got, this is basically what we've got at the moment, is a massive deal. And, you know, I look at when we go premium, we go white label, and we go exclusive, that is our next stepping stone moving forward, because then that then eliminates all the comments that people are looking at the back of the bottles or price comparing or whatever else. Like, this is what we got in for. You know, I got told it was an exclusive premium wine club, and it's not been that. But yet we've still managed to do what we've done so far. So once Kevin's got this sorted, then in theory, there shouldn't be too many excuses from people to go out there. And I know that, you know, I've got to do what I need to do, and Raz needs to do what he needs to do. But, you know, always know this, like, we're not going anywhere. Again, I get messages from people on a daily and weekly basis, promise me you're not going anywhere. Please tell me that you're not going to go and leave and join. Like, I'm not going anywhere. I can guarantee you that. Even if I wasn't making £1, I'd still stay in, because I love the people, I love the concept, I love the wine, I love the corporate side, I love the founders, and I know that we're going to get this right. Like, I do know so much that Kevin and Anne and Trillock and Lauren and Tanner and PJ and the rest of the guys, this is going to come good. And we just need to keep going. You know, as long as you guys keep believing in yourselves, as long as you guys keep believing in us and keep believing in the company and keep enjoying the experiences that you're on and keep having fun in your socials and keep growing as individuals. And as Carla said, keep keep working on a daily basis, however big or small it is, then we're going to get there. So I'm going to get this up afterwards tonight. I'll upload it. I'll get it in the group. But Carla, great job tonight. Absolutely fantastic. Really proud of you. Really proud of what you and Greg are doing. And I'm back with you guys at the end of the month again. So next Thursday, as I said, we're going to be joined by a guy called James Yates. He's a social media trainer, like Ray Higdon and like Eric Worre, I suppose, and like Danny Clark and Liz Clark over here. I've listened to him once and I love him. Very down to earth. He's very, very real, very passionate. It'll be 6 o'clock in the morning for him as well on the other side of the world. So let's turn up. Let's get the numbers on again. Let's listen to him and let's go again. So I'll get the details up about the opportunity call for next week, probably Tuesday. And I'll also be able to give you an update at Denby's because there may be some changes regarding criteria, but I can't say too much more than that at the moment. But if you want to get there, get a register. That's the first thing you need to do. If you've got an intention of going, register now so we know where we're looking at, but do all you can to get there. But as I said, look out for future announcements in the coming days because we're working on something. But appreciate you guys as always. A great turnout, great training again, Carla. Really appreciate you. Say hello to Greg for me, and I'll see you guys soon. For the rest of you, enjoy your Thursday, enjoy your Friday, your Saturday, your Sunday. Monday, we begin. Tunisia at home. Well, we're not at home, we're in Russia. But 3 points. We need 3 points. We need to get off to a good start. So, cheers, guys. Have a great weekend, and I'll upload this call tonight, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Thank you, and good night.
Thanks, Carla.